Hey guys, Eve Kid, and so I want to talk about our PlayStation games and GeForce Now, and whether or not we can see PlayStation games on GeForce Now. Now, for those who don't know, recently we saw a big deal between Nvidia and Microsoft to license a ton of PC games from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and Activision content to GeForce Now long term for 10 years. So this when we're thinking, like, would we see Sony sign a similar deal? Now, Sony, for those who don't know, has quite a few games on PC. They currently have 15 games on PC via Steam. And I was wondering, like, would we see it? Well, first of all, obviously, we have Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is a game owned by Sony now. Obviously, they acquired Bungie last year, and obviously, Destiny 2 is a widely popular free-to-play game. Destiny 2 is available via GeForce Now, but it's the only Sony-owned game that's available. And there's no God of War, there's no Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, there's no Last of Us remake, which it's kind of a yikes. Because obviously, Sony, for example, has quite an interesting catalogue of games compared to competitors. I mean, Sony has been in the game for like 25 plus years. They know how to make great games, and it's kind of annoying to me that they haven't put their games on GeForce Now, because I actually own quite a few Sony PlayStation games on Steam. So I actually do own games like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone, and yet I can't play those games on my TV via GeForce Now. I have to obviously play on my Steam Deck or my laptop. Which, to me, I understand people will say, oh yeah, but that's what you signed up for when you bought the games from Sony. I know, but I just kind of assumed that Sony was going to make a deal with Nvidia after Microsoft made a deal, just so long term they could obviously work together, provide content to each other, and work together long term to obviously expand the reach of these games. But I don't know. I don't know why Sony hasn't signed a deal yet. I don't know if Sony will ever sign a deal, but I kind of hope Sony does, just because long term it makes a lot of sense, viability standards and whatnot. Because if you have the games on GeForce Now, suddenly people who have GeForce Now and don't already own those games will have a reason to buy those games on Steam. So Sony will make more money. Then more people will probably sign up to GeForce Now, because these games that they own on PC are now on GeForce Now. So to me, I kind of feel like it's a win-win for both parties. You know, everyone's going to win if Sony makes this sort of deal. Will Sony make this sort of deal? I don't know. I have no clue. But I would say it would be nice if they started doing it, especially considering how small the catalogue of games they actually have on Steam and whatnot are. So it'd be a nice little starting point where obviously you get a few games you've already got on Steam, on GeForce Now, and then obviously new releases will be like day one. That to me would be awesome, especially if Sony wants to obviously try and increase sales of their PC games. Because as we all know, gaming isn't just about consoles anymore. Obviously, you've got PC, mobile. There's tons of different ways to make money on gaming, and this could obviously be a great way for Sony to obviously capitalize on the success of Nvidia. But will they do it? We don't know. Let's just hope for the best. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you want this to happen? Would you like to see Sony bring these PlayStation PC games to GeForce Now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which PC PlayStation game is your favourite? Which one would you like to see on GeForce Now first? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I've been EFK and I'm signing out. Peace.